All right, we should be live on Twitter. Welcome to Gamcast for Tuesday. Today we're here to talk about Kamala's strange southern accent that seems to come and go, and to update you on who's ahead in the election. The result of the second one may surprise you a bit. So without further ado, Peter Ducey asked the worst press secretary in American history this question recently.
A different topic. Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is...
she was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Yeah, she's so awful. She's just so awful. Anyway, folks, here is, well, before I get to that, this is something that, again, they're trying to claim is somehow racial. So here's a big feed on Twitter, Franklin is bored or whatever. They tried this with Obama, and then you see Huffington Post is mad about this. Right-wing commentators accuse Obama of using a false accent and racial language in 2007. And it's true, he did do that. Obama did the same thing. Obama had a lot of fakery about him, just like Kamala does. The problem that they have, though, is Obama actually ran in a primary. Obama actually, quote unquote, won a primary. He ran an election, right? So people got used to these things and these foibles. It wasn't a big deal. Kamala's got 64 days to go. Here she is in Detroit. Now, see if you can tell the difference between the accents and guess why she would sound one way in Detroit and another way in Pittsburgh. Here she is in Detroit. Take a listen.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about
that went by pretty quick. Here it is again.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about
the next 64 days? She talks that way. That's Detroit. You probably figured that out. Now, look, folks, you're actually listening to a southern accent. This is a perfect example of the North Carolina Piedmont southern accent. It doesn't change. I speak this way. I've spoken this way my entire life. Well, here she is within less than 24 hours later in Pittsburgh. Take a listen and see if you can tell the difference.
So, friends, 64 days until the most election of our lives.
Now, I don't know what the most election of our lives is, but there, she sort of sounds like she's on the campus at Harvard. You see, speaking of even Harvard, I didn't know why she would change. Well, here's a clue. Detroit, I just pulled the demographics. If you're watching us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, or others later, and not on Twitter Live, then if you would, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. But you will see that the racial makeup of Detroit is 77.7 black, 9.5 white, and 7.7 Hispanic, while Pittsburgh, on the other hand, is quite different. 64.46% white and only 23% African American. I don't know what our audience was, but I bet if you look closely at that, you'd see the change there. Now, why is it Kamala is doing this? Because she's fake. She's awful. She's terrible. They're not going to be able to pull this off. I've been saying this for a while. If you do subscribe later, you'll probably get, tomorrow I'm going to cover one or two packets, either the recent Ninth Circuit decision, which are, if those of you are interested in election decisions, you'll be interested in, or number two, another problem that Kamala has. We'll see which way we go. But anyway, here's the latest from the Silver Bulletin. Nate Silver, he sold it. He's not 538 anymore. He still has the best election model in the business, folks. Again, all of them are flawed. But as of today, you'll see that Harris is up on average, 48.9 to Trump's 45.5. Now, folks, that is, on any math, 3.4%. That's not going to get it done. Biden beat Trump, quote unquote, by 4.5% and still just barely eked out an electoral college victory. And here you can see, you scroll down, right? This is behind a paywall. Trump has today a 56.7% chance of winning in the electoral college. You'll see the same thing in the betting markets. The betting markets, and I understand, please don't write me and say this is PA. I had to pull it up quick. The betting market overall is 52% Trump, 48% Harris. This is Pennsylvania, but they're mirror images. If the election were today, Trump would win in the electoral college. And they haven't quite seen all of the cackles yet. So don't believe the polls. And one other thing before I leave the polls, and I'm going to wrap up the show. Just go notice. Don't take my word for it. Look for yourself when you look at the polls. Notice you're not seeing a lot of polls. It's taken weeks to get polls. Why do you think that is? Because the polls aren't showing her ahead. That's why. It's that simple. Anyway, if you would, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you do, I will see you on the next one.